Hi, I'm Charlie, and today on Munching Around Milwaukee, my guest is Chef Kyle Knall. Kyle, great to see you.
Hey, great to see you.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So Kyle is the chef, and with his wife Megan, co-owner of Birch Restaurant in downtown Milwaukee. They are also opening up a second restaurant, a French bistro, Cassis. We were talking about before we went on. They're getting ready to be hopefully soft opening by the end of the year.
Yep.
And to the public beginning January sometime in 2026.
Yeah, that's the plan now. Yeah.
That's the plan. And also you are the culinary director of Stonebank Farm, which a lot of people know you as a chef, as someone who's around town doing a lot of work with different charities and different events with chefs. But I'm not sure how many people know that you run that farm there. You're the culinary director.
Right.
So we'll talk about that because
Right.
I found that's very interesting. And Kyle is a 3-time James Beard Award nominee, and Birch was on the New York Times restaurant list in 2023. So lots happening now. And lots hopefully happening in the future.
Yeah, for sure.
So first I want to give you one of our tote bags.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so it's when you're shopping or when you're bringing stuff back from Stonebank Farm,
Sure.
you have something to put it in.
Great. I love the color.
Orange is the color. And so Kyle cooked these here this morning. Oh my God, they're heavy. So tell us what we got here.
So these are the Birch Bar Burger. So it's 2 patties actually made with beef that's raised at Stonebank. It's all grass-fed, really delicious beef. I've been saying it's one of our biggest accomplishments to be able to move to just using the beef from Stonebank for these guys.
Okay.
So we serve these in the bar only. And the idea is that we're creating a little buzz in the bar. And, we went from selling maybe 40 to 50 a week. Now we sell like 150 a week. So they're catching on, and they're available in the bar Tuesday through Saturday from 4 till close.
We toasted the buns.
Yeah.
And what else is on there?
Yeah, the bun's toasted on the inside.
So freaking heavy.
It's the grilled beef patties. Some raw onion on top of the patties underneath the cheese.
Okay.
And then there's a mayo that we make with smoked onions, and then a little house-made pickles. That's it.
All right. So Tom, why don't you pass me your plate? We'll get you served. All right, and then Kyle, you're the guest, so why don't you go ahead?
Sure.
And I'll get one for me. So, to start, I know you were born in Alabama.
Correct.
Kind of grew up there, and spent your early years. And so, how did you talk about your early career and how you got into cooking?
Sure. So I'm the baby in the family. My sister is 12 years older. My brother was 13 years older. They both worked in restaurants. My brother was a chef.
Perfectly done.
For about 25, 30 years.
Uh-huh.
And it all kind of started there. I started cooking my brother's restaurant where he was the chef when I was in high school.
Uh-huh.
I was like 15, 16. And kind of decided I loved it at that point and stuck with it and started working for my mentor right out of high school, Frank Stitt.
Mm-hmm.
And met my wife my girlfriend, now my wife, obviously. And worked for Frank for about 3.5 years, and then followed my wife to New York City when I was 22, so that's like 2006 or so. And worked in New York at Gramercy Tavern for about 5 years.
Let's walk back to Frank Stitt, because
Yeah.
Frank Stitt is a very accomplished, well-known chef, James Beard Award winner.
Right.
He was a Craig Claiborne Lifetime Achievement Award.
Right.
I mean, he's very well known as one of the top chefs in the country. So,
Right. I mean,
it's a
you
good
know,
basis
I
there.
look at it. I look at Frank Stitt as, I think I've said before, he's more important to the city than any politician or really anyone. Like, of course, he's a chef and he's changed the food, but he's changed so much more than restaurants. He's really changed the community in a really amazing way. And you look at Thomas Keller and Alice Waters out in California. You look at Charlie Trotter in Chicago. Obviously, there's plenty of chefs in New York. And then you have the South, and you have Frank Stitt. And that's how I really look at it. That's the mid-'80s when he started Highlands, and he's just as important to American food as the Thomas Keller, or the Alice Waters,
Absolutely.
really anyone. And like I said, he really changed Birmingham to be something amazing. And it's even more amazing now with all the people that have gone through his restaurant who've gone on to open their own restaurants. The scene is really spectacular.
It's the Frank Stitt tree.
Yeah, I mean, it's really amazing. And, we got to be good friends after I moved to New York. He had a second cookbook come out, Bottega Favorita. He'd come up to New York to do book events, and I was lucky enough to help him do those. And so we became very close. My wife and I, his wife, Pardis, have been close for a long time. And, my two mentors are Frank Stitt and Mike Anthony, and they're not just my mentors, but they're like two of my closest friends, and very fortunate to have that on my side for sure.
So you're in New York, and you work Gramercy Tavern, as you mentioned. I know there was one other, and then you were with the Lemon Tree. Is it Lemon Tree Pub Hotel?
Close. So I opened a restaurant when I left GT called Maysville.
Okay, Maysville, okay.
I left Gramercy. I didn't really plan on leaving. It was an opportunity. My mentor, Mike from GT, from Gramercy, helped me with it, and we decided, it'd be a good move. So I left, opened Maysville. It was on 26th and Broadway. We got two-star New York Times review. It was an amazing restaurant. It really, New York has these restaurants that open, and they just have this magic about them for a while, and we had that, and it was amazing. And in that time, my partners moved back to New Orleans, where they're from, to have a third child, and we decided to open a second restaurant in New Orleans, which was called Kenton's. It was uptown New Orleans, and so we had Maysville and we had Kenton's for about 3. So Maysville was open for 3 years, and we opened Kenton's, and then it was probably 3 more years where we operated both. I would travel back and forth. It was a great experience to really see a city through the lens of opening a restaurant. It was really awesome. My brother actually was a chef in New Orleans at the time, so he came on board to work with us and help us open, and it was really awesome. So anyway, fast forward, I left the company, took some time for the first time in a long time to get my life together, create good habits. Was hoping I could maybe open a restaurant with Danny Meyer, talk to them probably once a week. Things weren't moving along. I needed to start making some money, so I helped Laurent Torrendell open a restaurant in London, then a pizzeria in the Hamptons, which was both great experiences, totally different, and I think really awesome to see Laurent, his style of totally different things. And then I finally signed on with Steven Starr from Star Restaurants to open Electric Lemon in the Equinox Hotel.
Electric Lemon, thank you. Okay. That was close. I know there's a lemon in there.
That was I took the long route to get back to that Electric Lemon tree. No. So it was a beautiful hotel. We opened summer of 2019. Amazing experience to spend time with Steven Starr and all of his restaurants and get to know him and all that. And then COVID happened, actually a month after our son was born. And New York really shut down. We let everyone go. I was let go. We had talks every week. Hey, we'll talk next week about reopening. We'll talk next week. And that lasted for 3 or 4 months. When it came time to say, okay, let's do it, we felt like my wife and I said, we'd probably be moving backwards if we did this. So let's move to Milwaukee. My wife's from here. And we'd said we wanted to be part of a community. I think the statement that I said to my father-in-law that lives here, I said, look, being a chef in New York is awesome. And that's a dream. That's special, obviously, whatever. But I said, I think we want to do something bigger and more important. We want to find a community where we can open a restaurant. We can open restaurants. We could help make a difference in the community. And we thought Milwaukee would be a great place to do that and raise a family. So we moved here.
So you moved here in 2020 without a job.
Correct. So Mike Anthony, my mentor at Gramercy, had always said, Kyle, look, he's like, I know this, you should know this. In our career, it's a great thing and also a pain in the ass to deal with, but you should always be able to start over and know that you'll know that there's always going to be a reason, or there's always a chance that you're going to start from scratch. And like you do that when you move restaurants, you do that in different ways, but like truly moving here with the family with no job was like we had nothing, but we had great experience and passion, and we knew that we'd be able to do something. And I think the day after I moved here, my mother-in-law took us to Stonebank Farm Market, and we took a tour with Michelle, who runs the farm. And I just left there. I was like, wow, there's something special here. They just started making meals to go, and it was like just
this during COVID, obviously.
Yeah, during COVID, just to like do it for the community. It was nothing. It was like tuna salad sandwiches, and it was good. It was healthy, but there's no identity. So I said to Michelle, look, I've always made American food. That's something that's been very important to talk about, and I'd love to help you put together an identity for what the food should be coming off this farm. And so we would take all the produce that was not sold the week before, and we would turn it into meals for the week to box up and sell it to go. So people would come by and buy butternut squash hummus, grain bowls, soups, all stuff made with produce from the farm. All really delicious. It's what we serve in the restaurant, what I served in New York. There was never a step down in quality, and so we did that, and it caught traction. We ended up having, I think, 3 or 4 people on staff doing it with me, and I got the itch to get back in the restaurant because that's what I love. And
right.
I found Birch and Butcher. The old owner was looking to sell, and I said, you know what? Let me run it for a few months so you can get everything together, finances and whatnot. And my wife and I bought it from Becca, I think 6 months in, and it was kind of, we hit the ground running, and man, have we been fortunate and lucky for the community that has embraced us. And we've gotten accolades and all that good stuff, but to me, when you're in the dining room at Birch, it's busy, it's fun. You talk to guests from table to table, and they just say like, wow, like, yeah, the food's good, but we feel like we're seen when we're here. We feel taken care of. So I'm very proud of the hospitality that we've been able to curate. Well, the identity of Birch.
You just had a fan as we were prepping here. One of the residents here came in to say he had been at Birch last night, and it was he said it was fantastic, best meal, blah blah. And I know it made you feel good.
Yeah, and we had an issue last night where we had to change the way we were cooking some stuff, and so his meal took a little while, so we took care of his entrees, and for him to still say it was an incredible experience, to me that's like a win. We talk all the time, like when there's a mess up, those are actually good opportunities to be hospitable,
right,
and to do something special. And man, did that work? When he said, "Yo, comp my entrees," I was like, "Oh crap!" But then he's like, "It was one of the best experiences." Like, man, that's incredible. That's what it's about to me, and and that's what I mean. Like, Birch has this identity of like, yeah, food's good and ambiance is great, but the way that people are treated in the restaurant, to me, is something that can't be replicated. Danny Meyer always talks about a recipe can be replicated. Like, who cares if you can make the best blink? Anyone can do that, no matter where you are in the world. Yeah, like, I do believe you have to do it and train and understand it and not read a recipe. Like, I think working at Gramercy Tavern is who I am, and that changed my life. You can't just read the cookbook and expect to have that. But the thing is, like, yeah, you can recreate a recipe. You can never, ever, ever recreate an experience. That experience that he had, we were just talking about, can never be recreated. Yeah, we do things like that every day for people, but like that, the way you make someone feel is by far, like, who cares about if the food's good or not?
Well, we do care if the food's good.
Yeah, but like we talk about all the time, like
right.
It should be
the experience.
Well, good food is like, you shouldn't be a restaurant unless it's good food. That's just like,
right.
It has to be the bottom line.
We'd go to Birch and Butcher pre-pandemic, and when it changed in 21, Went back, and the thing that is so memorable about going to Birch is you walk in, and there's the wood-fired stove. You just smell it when you walk in.
Right.
It's one of those things that it's wonderful, and the food is top notch. I mean, the last time we were there, I think it was late summer, early fall, and I had a crudo, seafood,
Steelhead trout.
Steelhead, yes,
Yeah.
steelhead trout. No, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
And I forget what else we had, but it was delicious. The whole meal. And I saw you running around. You were doing a wine tasting. It was like 6 guys over
Sure.
on this long table. So you're in the kitchen, you're back tasting wine. But that was part of, and you're still getting around to, talking to the guests and stuff. So, they're running you ragged there. But that's what the experience is.
Right.
When you get there.
People jokingly say, we're busy. We're very lucky to be busy. That sounds like a brag, but to me, it's really worth talking about because, man, the team works their ass off all the time. And it's worth saying, we're very busy and we're lucky to have that for sure. But people say, look, it feels like we're at Kyle's party tonight. And it's just that energy from the music to the hospitality. Yeah, it's something that I think we've worked really hard to make special.
Wow, it's annually on the list of the best restaurants in town. So that's something that is always a positive. Let's talk a little bit about Cassis. Mm-hmm. So what you are doing at Cassis, same as Adam Siegel, the Kumars from Saffron. Who am I missing? Somebody else. But you're doing a different concept
Right.
from what you do.
Right.
And that's a lot of Milwaukee. There's like Bartolotta's, Black Shoe Hospitality, Benson's. Those are all restaurant groups, but all different concepts.
Sure.
So talk about Cassis.
So what I didn't mention, when I worked for Frank Stitt, he had Highlands Bar and Grill, and he had Chez Fonfon next door, which is a French bistro. And it's a large restaurant where you do like 200 covers on a busy night. Very small kitchen, very, very efficient. And people always say it's the best restaurant in Birmingham. It's the best of Frank's. Everybody loves it. So I fell in love with that style food early. I left that to move to New York to work at Gramercy and really follow the idea of creating an American food identity. So it's something that I love. But what I love most about it is these French brasseries that are larger. New York has a lot of them. They're in locations that are like the central hub for a community, mm-hmm. and they're open all day. They're a place. It sounds maybe dumb to say, but this is how I describe it. Like when you land in New York or you land anywhere, most of the time you're hungry, no matter what time it is. So you want, to me, if you land at the airport, where are we going to go? Well, we can go to Cassis and sit at the bar and have something. And so the accessibility for a French bistro, in my opinion, is should be accessible to everyone, no matter if you are afraid of French food or what. It's supposed to be casual and fun. And so we always, since we moved here, we said we got to open a brasserie in the Third Ward. It's something that, Benelux and, there's other restaurants that kind of fill this kind of thing where you can go have a beer and a snack or whatnot. But I think we can do something really special. And so it's going to be simple French bistro food, things like steak frites, moules frites, mm-hmm. pâté, steak tartare, and obviously we're going to use great produce from farmers in the community. And one thing that we focus on at Birch is there's always a fair amount of acidity and herbs in the food to lift it, to make it more enjoyable to eat. It's something that's really important to me. So the food at Cassis, of course, it's going to have this French feel, but I think it's going to be just feel a little fresher than the typical rich French food. But it's a 190-seat restaurant. We'll be open for brunch, lunch, and dinner.
Okay.
Has access to the Riverwalk. We're we have plans to do some fun things outside on that patio right next to the Riverwalk.
The building's right on the Milwaukee River.
Right. The corner of St. Paul and Water. So it's a cool location. think it's a good opportunity. The space is going to feel beautiful, but like fun and accessible and different. And yeah, we're really excited, and it's been a long time coming and ready. I told so Miles Thomas, he's been a chef with us at Birch for a long time. He's going to be the chef de cuisine there, and I trust this guy like I've never trusted anyone. He's amazing, and I was telling him last night, we were just talking about how to stay focused and move forward, and I said, look, I'm at a point personally, and I'm sure you are, Miles, but not quite where I am. I need this immediate gratification that you get from working in a restaurant. I love restaurants because I love immediate gratification. Like, to be able to put something together and you know, like yesterday was a rough day at Birch, and I said to one of the cooks, it's like, look, the great thing about what we do, no matter how frustrating things are or whatnot, if you can reset and just make a beautiful plate of food, that should like switch your emotion and your energy back to like something special. And so like we're ready to be in that space and see how great it's come out and start putting the food on the plates and getting people in there to like start having a party, because that's what it's about.
So 190 seats at Cassis. How many do you have at Birch?
About 90.
Okay, so a little more than double.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big space, but a brilliant location. It's right.
I mean,
across from the public market.
There were definitely talks where people were a little worried that the entrance is not on water, so how's that going to feel? You know, because there's like blue bat down the block. It's, you know, the entrance is tucked down a little bit, but I do think St. Paul is a little different. You go over that bridge and you're going to see right into the restaurant.
Right.
And I think that's like, I was in there yesterday, and when you're in the space, you're kind of looking up at the city and the public market, and when the hop goes by, it feels like you're in Europe. It's like, wow, this is cool.
So I want to talk a little bit about Cookbook. This is Milwaukee flavor cookbook. It's put together by the Milwaukee, and you're in here a couple times.
Yeah.
You have the you have the barbecue chicken,
Right.
which I'm assuming is from your days in the South.
Yeah, for sure. It's called Pepe's Barbecue Chicken, and unfortunately, my father passed in 21.
Pepe's your father?
Yeah, in 21, and it's something that we make at home often. It makes me feel good, and I was excited to give it a little life in this book for sure.
Well, this book is full of local Milwaukee chefs, probably about 75 or more, some with multiple recipes in here. And what was interesting to me, the spaghetti recipe. This is Kyle's spaghetti. The simplicity of it, because your cooking has been described as refined and unpretentious. And this is a simple pasta. You're Italian, right?
TBD. No, my mom, her brothers, they're raised, like, they're basically full-blood Italian. Their name's Bertella. I took a DNA test like 4 years ago, and my mom didn't want to hear the results. You could, I mean...
Well, you might have to edit that part out.
No. But no, I mean, we grew up eating suya every Sunday, and food, that was a big part of our lives. And like my brother, when he'd babysit me, he'd make me Prego, and I said, I'm not eating this garbage. We eat the real stuff every Sunday. Why am I going to eat this?
Well, I'm probably about, my dad was half Italian, so that makes me a quarter maybe.
Right.
But I still, I consider myself 100% Italian.
Yeah, see?
But the simplicity of this dish.
Yeah.
It's garlic, San Marzano
Yep.
tomatoes, pepper flakes. It says chili. I don't know which ones you were using.
Yeah.
And then al dente and basil and al dente spaghetti.
So this is like... Yeah.
It's simplicity, but it's quality.
I mean, it's funny, this dish, so Frank Stitt at his restaurant Bottega, he has a dish that this is based off of. And we do a version of Birch in the summer with beautiful single tomatoes and stuff. But my wife, Megan, worked at Bottega when we met. Mm-hmm. And I'd say, what do you want for dinner? She said, can you make that capellini from Bottega? And I said, I'll try. And at the time, I could only cook food that I was taught in a restaurant. I didn't know how to, like, go to the store and... Like,
really?
It's weird. It was like two different things. It took a really long time to to figure out how to make good food at home. But I said, sure. And I would ask the guys I knew that worked at Bottega. They'd tell me what to do. And I would never make it right, ever. I mean, ever. Like 10 years probably. It was awful. And I finally understood it. And it really helped me become a better chef, I think. But it's very simple. And what's cool about it is, like, if you don't have basil, fine. Everything else is basically in your pantry.
Right.
You know, and that's like what's really special about it. But I made it one time at Gramercy Tavern for a family meal. And Nick Ander, who was the chef de cuisine, he ended up opening Maialino and Marta, and now he has a few other restaurants out of Danny's group. But he worked at Babbo, a very Italian-driven chef, and he came over and said, wow, that's one of the best things you've ever made. It was about the pasta. And it's like, it's truly so simple, where I feel like if you don't love food, you'd be like, it's just like, it's like, it's just some noodles with some heat or some herbs or something. But if you love food, you're like, wow, this is like clean and perfection. So
that's how Italians cook. It's simple. It's quality ingredients. They're not adding 10 different things.
Right.
It's quality and simple and well done. So that will definitely be on the rotation as 100% Italian.
You can probably make it better than me then.
I love to cook. I love to eat. I think I love to eat more than I love to cook. So I'm on that other trip. The last thing I really wanted to talk about is the collaboration and the camaraderie of the chefs here in Milwaukee.
Right.
I was at Festa Italia this year, and you were up on doing your demonstration. And what was amazing to me is Adam Pavlik is there, just running plates and helping and doing stuff. He's not presenting; he's just there helping.
Yeah.
Because he felt like, here, I'll help out.
Right.
And that's if there's an event if you have an event, people are going to come.
Right.
You're going to ask, and they're going to be there. If Adam has an event, if any other chef in town has a charity event, you're there. You were at not Dim Sum. You're probably there too. Dumpling Fest.
Right.
Dumpling Fest. And it's just that to me is how the Milwaukee food scene is.
Yeah,
It's collaboration
for sure.
and it's raising tide.
Right.
Raise all boats.
I did a cooking demo at MATC yesterday.
Oh. With AJ?
Yep. So 9 a.m. Guess who was there?
Adam?
Yep.
He got no life.
And no, and my wife. We were at my
Sorry,
car
Adam.
in the parking lot afterwards, and my wife called. And on the way here, actually, she goes, "You know what? I forgot to say something to you." I almost said, "Is that Adam in the background? That voice sounds just like his." And then she saw his Instagram post, and he was there. To me, I think all the chefs support each other. They all do events together. It's great for sure. And they come to me. They come to Birch. We go out to eat as well. And Adam is a special dude, and he gives us a lot of support. And to me, he's one of the more genuine people.
Yeah.
He's definitely become somebody I'll text at night when I'm watching terrible Bucks highlights. And
there's been a lot of it lately.
Yeah.
But
he's become a good friend, and we're from different parts of everything, in my opinion. Yeah, we're chefs, but we're totally different. And I feel very lucky to be able to have a friend like him, and Dan Jacobs and Adam Siegel and Justin Abrahamian. I mean, Paul Zirkle. Everybody's awesome, you know, and it's so fun to cook with everybody. And it's not. I think it is. I'm very competitive. There is competition, no matter, to me, it's there's competition, but it's not. It's we all want to be part of everyone and see everyone do well, and we're only good if we're all good, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There shouldn't be just one great restaurant. We're only as good as our neighbors.
And that's what makes Milwaukee's food scene so wonderful now, is that we just have people like you and Adam, and that have raised the level of expectations to everybody wants to follow behind. They want to be on the list of the best restaurants, or at least in the conversation. Sure. And
look, I don't consider myself a newbie anymore by any means, man. But I mean, Megan and my wife and I, we talk about this all the time. how lucky are we not just to have a busy restaurant and people love to come eat there, but I feel like we've really established ourselves in the community pretty quickly in a very genuine way. We made great friends with these chefs in this community, and like I feel like I've known these chefs for a long time, and it's a great feeling. And like it could be the exact opposite, and it could be a horrible thing. But
Right.
man, we're lucky, and we really love the
Midwestern values.
Yeah.
People just, they're just very nice.
Right.
So before we get out of here, I just want to say, I had no idea that Birch served burgers. Because you go in and, the bar is back there. You walk past the bar and go, and when you said, have you ever had a Birch burger? I said, no. And I asked my wife and she said, they serve burgers there? I said, we're going.
Yeah. I mean, I hope this one was good, but obviously we cook it over the open fire. And when it's at Birch, it's to me like something really special.
Well, we
and
will definitely be there eating a couple of Birch burgers. So.
Great. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much.
It was a great
for coming.
chat. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Of course.
And thanks so much for supporting Munching Around Milwaukee. Each week we talk to one of our local chefs, restaurateurs, foodie, or food influencers about our great, vibrant food scene here in Milwaukee. So until next time, thanks for watching.